Hey there, it's Adam Meadows with Results Focused Training, and wanted to bring this video to you guys. Remember in the last video we talked about the negative effects of sitting and really the negative effects of being inactive for long periods of time. And so today I wanted to talk to you about foam rolling, which is one of the methods and modalities that I use and implement into my programs for whomever I'm really training, because like we talked about last time, everybody sits and everybody's in those positions. So why do we foam roll? Let's answer that question first. So simply, really the first reason would be because it's cheap. Like, it's a cheap way for everybody to get soft tissue work. So I would recommend everybody go and get a massage every day, but that's not realistic. And so that's why the foam roll is a great tool. It's inexpensive. Gyms have them, most gyms have them, and it's something that you yourself could go out and purchase. I will say, if you go get one, make sure that it actually has some firmness to it. They make some that are really kind of soft and mushy, and that's really not going to do the job. And you're not really going to get a ton of benefit from that. So the other reason why is because when we're in a seated position, there's this term that occurs. It's called creep, and no, I'm not talking about the guy that makes eye contact with you on the hip abductor machine at the gym. No, this different use, same term, different use. This is talking about what occurs in our muscles when we have those low load forces while we're in a seated position over a long period of time. And so a great analogy, and I'm stealing this, a great analogy is if you were to try and take your hand and slowly press through a trash bag. This is the first time I'm seeing this on camera, so it's a little interesting. But if I slowly apply pressure, let me back up just in case it does fly, it's not going to tear, but once I remove or stop, or in this case stand up, and this is supposed to be your muscle, by the way, it's now stretched, it's physically changed, and that's what occurs to our muscles when we're in a seated position for a long period of time. And so foam rolling is just a way to combat that. That's the way that you should, that's an easy way to think about it. Hopefully this isn't too loud on the camera. So today I want to talk about and show a couple of lower body uses for the foam roller and a couple upper body uses. So that's what we're going to go to next. This first one is for your hip rotators. You'll see that I am sitting on top of the foam roller. I am tilted to one side, and whichever direction I am tilted towards, that side leg is actually going to be flexed and bent over the knee joint of the opposite leg. And as you roll, you're going to start from your iliac crest, which is towards your lower back, best way I can describe that, and then down towards your hip joint. You want to move nice and slow, and generally I tell clients 10 slow rolls or about 30 seconds. In this next one, you'll see I'm completely over onto a side position. That top leg is going to be basically draped or flexed and draped over into a comfortable position. We're still hitting the same area as far as from the iliac crest to the hip joint. But because of the position change, now we're targeting our glute medius, which is a smaller muscle, a little bit harder to get into. And so the rolls are going to be a little bit smaller. Again, now I'm in a supine position. I'm on my back. And the foam roller is in my upper back area or your thoracic spine. Once it's in that position, you want to bring your elbows together. All this does is open up and pull apart those shoulder blades to where they're as far apart as possible, and which allows for the foam roller to really get in there and work that lower trapezius and your rhomboids. And again, same speed here, everything, we're trying to go nice and slow. And I will say, if you find an area that's really tense, I always recommend maybe hanging out in that position, maybe either shortening the rolls to where you're really hitting that, or just kind of holding that one spot, allowing that pressure until maybe you feel that tension relax. Foam rolling for the pecs. You'll see I'm in a prone position now. I've got my arm draped over the foam roller, and the foam roller is almost completely perpendicular to the body. Now males, we can roll either forward and back like I am in the video, or a lot of times, like I said, if you find like an area of tension, rolling side to side is good. Females, you guys are going to do better if you just simply raise the arm overhead and back in a reaching motion. Well, there you have it. Those are a few uses of the foam roller. Some great uses. And what I like to do is in the post, I'm going to put a link to my website, and then on my website, I'm going to upload a video of a full body foam roller routine. So something that you guys can look over. If you have any questions, obviously shoot them my way. Anything, questions about the video that I post up there, any questions about this video. Also, there's tons of techniques out there that you may have seen that I didn't necessarily cover today. So trigger pointing, where you use like a lacrosse ball. Any questions about like that, anything like that, just shoot them my way. Any way I can help, obviously I will. In our next video, we're going to be talking about or addressing mobility work, some corrective movements. That's probably one of my favorite areas. If anybody knows me as a coach, obviously that's something that I'm super passionate about. But I've seen a lot of positive effect in my life, just in my own mobility. And so love talking about it. Those are going to be some great movements that you can implement into your warm-ups, into your daily lives, that can really have a strong impact on counteracting some of these issues. So tune in for sure. Did I say tune in? But as always, appreciate your time, and yeah, reach out if you need anything, and appreciate it. Thanks.